Hello everyone. Today I'm going to read you Clark the Shark again, but this time there's also going to be a comprehension test about Clark the Shark. So, are you ready? Okay. Clark the Shark. And all the wide blue seas and all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest and the strongest was Clark the Shark. Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Mrs. Inky Dink. He loved to play upsy-downsy and spin-a-jig with his friends. Clark loved his life. School is awesome! Shouted Clark the Shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the Shark. Munch your own lunch, said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, blubbered Clark the Shark. You're playing rough, Clark, cried the other kids. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud, he was too wild, he was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at circle time. Even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." One day, Clark asked Mrs. Inky Dink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inky Dink patted his fin. "Clark, sometimes you play too hard. You munch too hard, and gosh, you even help too hard." "But life is so exciting," said Clark. "There's a time and a place for everything," said Mrs. Inky Dink. "And sometimes the rule is stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey Mackerel. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "this isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule?" "Stay cool," said Clark. "Hey, that rhymes," he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. Maybe if I make a rhyme. I'll remember every time, he thought. The next day, he put his plan to work. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, when teacher's talking, don't go walking. And what do you know? It worked! Attaboy, Clark, said Mrs. Inkydink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun! At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, only munch your own lunch. And it worked again. Way to go, Clark, said his friends. Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. At playtime, Clark told himself, easy does it. That's the way. Then my friends will let me play. And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. But then a shadow fell across the playground, a ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. It's a new kid and he looks scary, cried Joey Mackerel. Swim for your lives! The squid squashed the slide and it snapped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. Wait, said Clark. He just wants to play. Let's find a way. And he swam at the new kid with all his might. Clark played harder than he ever had before, upsy-downsy and spin-a-ma-jing. Why, he even made up a new game. Tail Wumpalumpus. Wow, that was fun, said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. If you want to come to school, you've got to stay cool, said Clark. That's right, Clark, said Mrs. Inkydink, and thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid. Hooray for Clark the Shark! Everyone cheered. That night, Clark's mother asked, what did you learn at school, dear? There's a time and a place for everything, Clark said. Sometimes you stay cool. But sometimes a shark's gotta do what a shark's gotta do. So, we read the story, and now we are going to answer the questions. I'm going to read you questions, and you're going to answer them. I'm also going to show you Clark the Shark Comprehension Test. Number 1. How could you describe Clark the Shark in the beginning? Is it A, calm, B, shy, C, cheerful, or D, sleepy? How could you describe him? Write down in a piece of paper. Okay, now number 2. What is Clark's problem? A, he doesn't do homework. B, he likes things too much. C, he comes late to school. Or D, he doesn't like things. Okay, Number 3. What did Clark do to solve the problem? A. He did rhymes. B. He took 3 deep breaths. C. He disagreed to like things. D. He got help from his friends. Okay, number 4. How was Clark the shark alike with Sid the squid? A. They both make mistakes. B. They both love to eat fish. C. They both don't like school. Or D. They both are sharks. Number 5. What is the theme of the story? Now, a theme is what a character learned at the end, or what an author wants to share to the reader, a lesson in life. So what is the theme of this story? A. Always be brave. B. Make new friends. C. There is a time and place for everything. D. Everyone can do things. Okay, now we're going to check our answers, and I'm going to come back to the book to explain you why it's the answer. So, I'm going to take my mini pen and we're going to start. Now, number 1. How could you describe Clark the shark in the beginning? Well, let's read it again. And only the beginning. I think this is the page where you could find the answer. First, school is awesome, shouted Clark the shark. Less shouting, more reading, says Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the shark. Want your own lunch, said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, blowed Clark the shark. You're playing with us, Clark, cried the other kids. So based on all that, is it A, was he calm? B, shy? C, cheerful? Or D, sleepy? The correct answer was C. He was cheerful. He was really cheerful, you could say. Now, number 2, what is Clark's problem? Now, number 2 is, I think, in the next page. Let's read it. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud, he was too wild, he was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark, no one ate lunch with him, no one sat with him at circle time. Even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark, you're making me crazy." So, based on this, it even tells you the answer. What is Clark's problem? A, he doesn't do homework. B, he likes things too much. C, he comes late to school. Or D, he doesn't like things. Well, it states he loved everything way too much. And let's read B, he likes things too much. So the answer is B. He likes things too much. Now number 3. What did Clark do to solve the problem? So it's going to be in about this page. Those 2 pages I'm going to read. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark, said Mrs. Inky Dink. This isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule? Stay cool. Hey, that rhymes, he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time, he thought. The next day, he put his plan to work. So based on this, it also tells you the answer right there. What did Clark do to solve the problem? A, he did rhymes. B, he took 3 deep breaths. C, he disagreed to like things. Or D, he got help from his friends. So it tells you that it is A, he did rhymes. Well, the action shows that he did rhymes like in this one. When teacher's talking, don't go walking. And that worked. And in lunch, only munch your own lunch. The same. Easy does that's the way. Then my friends will let me play. And everything turned up. So it is A. He did rhymes. Now, number 4. How was Clark the shark alike with Sid the squid? So let's go back over here where, wow, this shows the page. Look at this. He destroyed this. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. It's a new kid. And he looks scary, cried Joey Mackerel. Swim for your lives! The Sid squashed the slime and it snapped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. And over here, it says that he is Sid the Squid. Okay, based on this, you know that he made a mistake. But how about Clark? Well, Clark made mistakes too. It says there. So, how is Clark the shark alike with Sid the squid? A, they both made mistakes. B, they both love to eat fish. C, they both don't like school. Or D, they both are sharks. So one that you totally disagree that they both are sharks. But what that is correct is A, they both make mistakes. Now the last question, that may be tricky. What is the theme of the story? I think there's 2 pages that tell it. So let's read the first page that tells you the theme. This one says, There's a time and a place for everything, said Mrs. Inky Dink, and sometimes the rule is stay cool. Okay, so there's 2 things Mrs. Inky Dink said. Now, in the end, it tells you the theme too. Oh. That night, Clark's mother asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" You said, it tells you learn, and a theme is what a character learns about life, or what the author wants to share about it. The story. There's a time and a place for everything, Clark said. Sometimes you stay cool. So, what is the theme of this story? Is it A, always be brave? B, make new friends? C, there is a time and a place for everything? Or D, everyone can do things? So it's C. There is a time and place for everything. So the answer 1, I'm repeating the answers. Number 1 is C, cheerful. Number 2, B, he likes things too much. Number 3, A, he did rise. Number 4, A, they both make mistakes. And number 5, C, there is a time and a place for everything. Bye everyone.